Hello guys. Hello guys, good afternoon. You're welcome back to my channel. My name is Olivia. If you just see me for the first time, thank you, welcome. I'm a Nigerian who lives here in South Africa with my family and I make various contents. So guys, I've not been on a live stream in a very long time, but I actually recorded this video to post it like a normal video, but I hope I'm live though. Let me just double check that I'm live. Let me just double check that I'm live. Okay. Yeah, I'm live. Thank you so much. I'm kind of anxious as you can tell, but I recorded this video to post it, but something happened. I think I was putting on, in fact, I didn't like what I was seeing in it wasn't just given. So I decided to make a live stream to just make a live stream as short as it can be to just address the point I wanted to make on that video. Okay, forgive the quality. It's StreamYard. I was trying to figure out a lot of things today, but even I was trying to make the live stream with my camera, but it was not possible. I tried so a lot of things, but I couldn't. So yeah, thank you so much. In case you watch this on a playback, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up, okay, and share this video if you will. Yeah, I decided to be making videos, like I decided to be posting videos every other day, or at least 3 to 4 times a week in this month of October. Vlogtober, I don't know if it's Vlogtober, but I don't want to ramble too much, but that's why I said I have to put this video out today. I hope someone is hearing me and I hope I'm live. I just hope I'm live. It's been more than a year I went live last. Okay, so thank you so much everyone. Yeah, that will watch later and people that will join. This live stream is just going to last for like 20 minutes or less, yeah, so that people will be able to watch the playback later. It was intended to be actually a video, but I couldn't edit, remake the video and edit again. So let's stop rambling, okay? So in the topic today, it says Nigerian and stroke African migrants fix a country, don't migrate to South Africa or other countries, okay? So if you have been watching my channel 2 videos ago, you would have seen that I made a video that says Nigerians stop coming to South Africa. I don't know if anybody can see me or if anybody can hear me. Please, can you just say hello? Let me just know you can hear me. That's all. Even if you don't want to interact, it's okay. Just let me know you can hear so that I will know that at least this video is I'm live and people can hear me. Just to say hello, say I can hear you if you can on the comment section. So I made that video that says Nigerians stop coming to South Africa. Interesting question. No, Siri, I'm not talking to you. So I made that video and I got a lot of comments, and I am kind of making this video based on the comments I got from that video. I'm going to link that video on the comments section or on the description box after the live stream, so that if you've not watched that video, you can go and watch it and understand what I'm trying to talk about, okay? So in that video, I had a lot of comments, a lot of people had their opinions, and which made sense. One thing I want to make you guys understand is that whenever I make a video, it's based on my experience or based on research, okay? Most times when it comes to my me living in South Africa, can you hear me? Hi Bontle, please, if you can hear me, I just want somebody to say yes, I can hear you. It's been ages that I did this live stream. I just want to make sure that I'm being heard so that people that watch the playback will be will hear me, okay? I don't know if I'm being heard. And yeah, so as I was trying to say, I kind of, whatever video I make based on South Africa, or yeah, it's mainly my experience or my opinion, okay? And of course, I make videos about South Africa, Nigeria, and about myself, and I just show a sneak peek of my life as a Nigerian migrant who lives here in South Africa. So it's my opinion, and I just want to know everybody to know that if you if you ever watch my video and you make an opinion, so long as you don't come out insultive or anything, your opinion is valid, okay? I don't know why I'm itchy. So your opinion is valid. I had a lot of, people had a lot of opinions and people had a lot to say about that video I made about stop coming to South Africa as Nigerian and African migrants. So, but one comment that stood out for me is this comment that says Nigerians, Nigerians and Africans don't even migrate to South Africa, do not migrate to other places. Just stay in your country and fix your country. Remember in that video, if you've watched that video or if you watch it later, you understand. But if you watch that video, you know that I was saying Nigerians and other African migrants that usually come to South Africa, instead of you to migrate to South Africa because of the reasons I mentioned in that video, I said you should rather go to other countries like Europe, America, and other things. Okay, you can hear. Thank you so much. Nanga, thank you so much. I appreciate that feedback. Thank you. At least I'm being heard. Yeah. So I said they should rather go to other countries instead of, and please give this video a thumbs up, okay? At least it helps the video. As you're coming in, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Please, it's free. Okay, so I told them to rather go to like the Western world, where they can be accommodated and where there are provisions for migrants, that South Africa at the moment do not have provisions for migrants because of the reasons I mentioned on that video. Okay, yeah, which a lot of South Africans and non-South Africans also agreed with me. Most of the people, I would say like 90% or 80% of the people that commented on that video agreed with me, and they said yes. I mean, for reasons I mentioned, and even more that people were mentioning on that video, they said they agreed and said, let us, not come to South Africa at the moment. Let South Africa breathe. There's a slogan that is like a slang in Nigeria where our president said, I think he said, let the poor breathe or something. Like we now use it in Nigeria community, we are like, let this person breathe. So what we basically meant in that video, or what I basically meant and what people were commenting, and they were like, let South Africa breathe. Okay. So, however, like I was saying, I hope I'm not rambling too much. Some other people had the opinion that do not come to South Africa, don't even migrate at all, stay and fix your country. And I know I've heard that particular comments several times. Some people are of the opinion that people should not migrate at all. People should stay in their respective countries, Nigerians, Zimbabweans, Ghanaians, Congolese, name it. Stay in your country, fix your country. Okay, makes sense. Like I said, everybody's opinion is valid. Your opinion is valid so long as it comes out respectfully. Mine is valid. Everyone's opinion is valid. So I want to talk about why I think, I don't know if that's possible, but I want to talk about the reasons why I think it's not really possible. Okay, not just because I'm a migrant myself. Isn't it? It will sound somehow if Olivia is saying stay in your country when Olivia is in South Africa, that is not her country. Okay, but however, the reasons, I have a few reasons that I wrote down on my notes on my phone, so I'll just bring them. The reasons why I think that comment is kind of is not practical. It's not practical, kind of. The opinion is valid, but I think that opinion, people practicing it, staying in their country, just stay and fix your country, I feel it's not practical. And I feel it may not ever happen in this lifetime because of some of the points I'm going to mention in this video. Please give this video a thumbs up if you come in and if you're here, okay? So the first reason I think that Nigerians and Africans, while it's not really feasible for people to just everybody stay in your country and not migrate, don't even come to South Africa, yeah, that's been established, and don't even go to maybe the West, or don't even go to the Western world, yeah, stay and fix your country. The first reason is that migration is the first people that say migrating is actually these Western people, like the British. If we all know, Nigeria was colonized by the British. And how did the British come to Nigeria? They migrated. Most of them, Lord Lugard and, those are colonial masters. They all migrated. They are the people that taught us how to even leave our country and go to other people's country, okay? So migration has been there. Americans migrated first. If you know the history of America, you know that the people that are Americans presently are not even, are not, they migrated. Even in Australia, name it, they started migrating before we African began to know that, okay, so somebody can actually leave their country and go to someone else's country and go and settle there. Okay, so that's the first reason I feel that people just staying put in their country is not a practical, or is not a feasible advice. Rather, I would rather give people advice that is a little bit manageable or feasible than give advice that, just do this. It's just like when you're giving a child an instruction. You give the child an alternative, okay, don't touch this, but touch this. You understand? But if you say don't touch at all, just sit put, it's not possible. Such advice are not, I feel, that's my own opinion, remember, okay? So I feel that instead of saying, think that everybody will just stay put because, for some reason, it's not possible. Because we already, as humans, are started knowing that, people migrated. Those people that came and took away our golds and our diamonds in Africa and all those things, they migrated first. They migrated and saw that, Africa is rich in gold. Africa is rich in. Yeah, you can join. Okay, yeah, you can join. If you want to join, let me look for a way to bring the link. This is StreamYard actually. You can join. It's been a minute that I used this StreamYard, so I will have to copy layouts. How do they even easily customize? Okay, I think edit new layout. Sorry guys, 1 minute. I'm trying to see. So Isaac said he wants to join. So I know that people can join the live stream and kind of contribute if they have anything to say. So let me just see if I can see how to copy the link. Let me see. Click for more layouts. Manage. Invite. Okay, invite. Okay. Copy. Copied. Paste. Yes, yeah. Yes, Isaac, that is the link. Okay. That's the link if you want to join and contribute, if you have something to say. But please, because of YouTube guidelines, there are some words that you can't use, like, some kind of words that are kind of, they can flag the video if you use them. So just don't use the very heavy words like drug, those kind of things. Just, mind your word if you want to come in. So that's the link for anybody that wants to join. And like I said, this video will not be so long so that people will be able to catch it on playback. So that's the link, Isaac. Thank you for joining. Yeah, if you want to join, anybody that wants to join at all is welcome. Okay, so I hope I didn't lose my chain of thought. So that's the first thing, the first reason why I feel Africans will not stop migrating. People will not stop migrating because, of course, the people that we look up to a lot, which are people from the West, unfortunately or fortunately, whichever one it is, they migrated first. And yeah, Isaac is joining. You can take away your video if you want to, or you can show yourself, whichever one, but know that of course it's YouTube, so you'll be seen. Yeah, you're here. Add to stage. Okay, I've added you. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Isaac? Thank you so much for joining.
Yeah, beautiful channel, by the way. I always listen to your reactions
Thank
and your contribution and
thank
how you
thank
enjoying the country.
So far so good. You already, if you watch my video, you know that South Africa Like I'm literally a South African at this point, at least in my mind, from everything I've learned. So I've enjoyed the country very well. Like, thank you so much
You
for
you
asking.
did you did give your children South African names?
Yes, I did. Three of them.
Yeah.
I have three beautiful daughters.
Yeah. Yeah. You see, I've been following your channel for a long time now.
Thank
The
you.
whole entire process. Yeah. No, I mean what you're saying is correct, and I think look, I think a lot of people. Sorry, I am South African.
Okay.
I work as an
It's
attorney.
it's obvious, yeah.
Uh,
I already know your accent. If I hear a South African accent, if I hear a South African accent or a Nigerian or a Zimbabwean or even Congolese, so long as you're African, I can kind of pick where you're from. Even Malawi, I'll say, oh, this person is Malawian or anything. I know that it's like that for most African countries. If you hear me, I'm sure you would say, okay, this lady is like, you sound Nigerian, right? Yeah. So I know.
yeah. Yeah, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just the truth. I think a lot of people are quite sensitive when you say, "Oh, you sound different," but it's just how it is.
Yeah.
Um, and and I think people don't know how to have proper discussion with regards to migration because they speak in uh, like extremes spectrum. So
Okay.
like especially with the issues of South Africa, the whole issue of xenophobia and whatever. It's quite a curious case because a country where people are saying they are xenophobic is odd because everybody still wants to come here.
Mm-hmm.
And you even I live in Polokwane. Have you been to Polokwane?
No, I've not. Polokwane is I've been to only. I've not been to only few provinces. I think Polokwane is Nespre,
It- no, 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 no. It's in Limpopo province. Polokwane
Limpopo,
is the
Limpopo.
capital
No, I've
city.
not been to Limpopo. No.
Yeah, even I live in the small city.
Okay.
You still have a strong non-citizen presence, right? And some of them, have occupied the shops and they sell there. They do hair. I mean, even this haircut that I did here was done by a Ghanaian. There's a very
Okay.
beautiful place that I go to and do my hair and my nails there.
Yeah.
And I like the people there actually. I mean, I've been to Ghana twice,
Okay.
and I love it. It's a good place. So I think people discuss migration not like when they talk about South Africans and say they despise other Africans, and I don't think it's the case. I think that people would generally say, and depending where in the country, they'll say, like I live where people's complaints with migration is people who are not registered on the system because it's quite
Okay.
difficult to track and trace somebody who is alleged to have committed crimes. I'll make an
Okay.
example where, in the community I live, these two boys, they're South Africans. I know them. They entered into an old lady's house. They stole her stuff and even her medication and whatever. But it was easy for them, for people in the community to identify those boys and hand them over to the police
Yeah.
because they could easily found it. But they're not going to do that to somebody who is not registered in the
Because
system,
they are
nothing.
registered, they have an ID number, they have a track record in the country. I know. I know. One
Yeah,
thing about, sorry, let me interject a little. One thing about those words are censored in those platform, but one thing about xenophobia, and I'll just mention it once, is people that do not live in South Africa do not understand the predicaments of the people. The reason why some South Africans are not necessarily angry, like I said, but they resent, some migrants. And it kind of, some people don't, of course, don't know how to manage their emotions, and there's outrage and outbursts because of the way some migrants, of course, it's obvious, handle things and the way they live in people's country. I saw a post, and somebody, I think it's a Nigerian blog, and I think that person that said that thing, they posted something about Nigerians in South Africa, and somebody made a comment, and they're like, that is why South Africans are angry. There's an attitude you will portray in another man's country. Obviously, the person will be angry. No doubt. That's I
Mm.
know that. But people that are outside the country and don't understand the, you know, why people are aggrieved, they won't really understand. They won't understand why people act the way they do. Maybe as much as some things are not justified, obviously, I'm not justifying being violent and all that, but I don't see every action at or every resentment towards foreigners as xenophobic. I don't. It will be extreme, or I will see the reason or the reason behind it before I term it. So I don't personally think South Africans are. I don't. I said I made it in my video, and yeah, you can go ahead. Sorry to interject.
No, no, no. You don't need to. I like the back and forth conversation actually. Even when I'm running a lesson, I prefer the back and forth because you end up losing your train of thought. When you wanted to ask something in the moment. Look, in Africa, I'd say I travel a lot of African countries and I understand the dynamic. Most African countries, people do not even tolerate each other's tribes. You know,
Of
and you've
course,
heard,
of course.
even in Nigeria for that matter, the issue of
Mhm.
tribalism is rife,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
because there are certain people in Nigeria who believe that the certain places belong to them.
yeah,
I know it's sensitive, but the issue of Biafra is quite huge in Nigeria. That there are people who are quite protective of their situations where they are, and it's quite a normal thing. But somehow this whole Afrophobia, xenophobia thing, for me, I think that there was a real cause to discuss, but because we tried gaslighting each other with phrases and this and this and that, then we lose the meaning of the actual problems that exist in Africa. Because I promise you, there are many people who are in Nigeria, who are Nigerians in South Africa, who would love to go back home. There are many Zimbabweans in South Africa who would love to go back home.
of
And many
course.
other people, but the situation in the countries don't allow them to do that, and therefore they'll seek refuge where they feel it's okay. And the conversations that we should be happening is how do us as citizens of this continent hold our governments accountable in such a way that the entire continent becomes fruitful for anybody to wish to travel and live freely, without trying to burden the systems of that particular country. And another thing that most people who are outside this country don't actually understand is that South Africa is almost a welfare state in that majority of the citizens rely on government provided services, your free education, free healthcare, you know, and therefore, because the constitution has
Sorry, come
allowed for
again.
that,
You said who relies on government? Sorry, I didn't get that.
South Africans,
Okay.
it's a welfare state, right? It's a
Yeah,
welfare state in the
yeah.
sense that there's free education, um, free healthcare, and so on and so
Mm-hmm.
forth. And the word free, depending what you mean where. But because our constitution has allowed for those benefits to be for whoever is within the state, then you would get a situation where there will be foreign nationals who especially have not even who are not legal in the country getting benefit of that because the constitution allows them
I
to do
think
that.
it's
So I
only
don't think
free healthcare. Other what other benefits the foreigners don't really get, like the grant
mm,
systems and all that.
no, 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 yeah,
I,
yeah, yeah. But education they do because every year when we are discussing matric certificates, we always discuss uh, stateless children who cannot get their matric results because they were able to go to school, but because they don't have IDs, they don't have they can't get their matric results. So
oh,
it
okay.
means
I'm not aware of that.
they were
Okay.
yeah, they were allowed to go to school because education is like healthcare.
Because
It's
I know
free
that
for
my
everyone.
kids, the school, even in the private school, they always tell them to get their before the first one became a permanent resident because of from her dad. She was asked to get her what's it called again, her permit. In my kids'
Mm.
school, you can't study without your study permit. But yeah, the first
Yeah, no,
one
no,
before.
yeah. Is it a private school?
Yes, it's a private school.
That is quite different because private schools have a right of reserve, you
Oh,
know.
okay, okay,
So
okay.
as
That makes
opposed
sense.
to government schools
At
where
government
they
schools,
are,
okay.
you know. So you'd have you can't really chase a child out of a school, in a government school. You can do
In a
that in a
government.
private school.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know my.
So you have these children who are not South African, they don't have IDs, and they go through the whole entire schooling phase, and then at matric they can't get their matric results because they are stateless, and you
Okay.
have that problem. So if my thinking is maybe if there was limitations to what a non-resident can get and cannot get, who's on a permit or who's not, and then maybe these outrages would not exist. But I think the
Okay.
outrages exist because
Because
the
people feel that
constitution.
their benefits is being, is being taken away, which in a certain extent I understand. Yeah, at least the benefit
Mm,
of maybe the school, like you mentioned. Someone said it in the comment that even in when you come to school, I didn't understand that comment, but because of what you're saying now, I think I'm beginning to understand that you don't get places in school. I think it's a recent comment. I've not replied to it yet. She said, or he said, that places like before that it was difficult, it was easy for you to, place kids in school, and but they don't get placed. I was like, okay, what's this person talking about? Now I understand that because of okay, it's making more sense to me now that kids that probably don't have permit can even start, because all the while I'm thinking that every foreign kids in this country, because I went to postgrad and masters here in South Africa, and I kid you not, I couldn't register before I got my what's it called, my permit. I had to get my study permit, and immediately it's expiring. I have to go and renew it before my. So I was thinking that that's the standard, and even for the kids, like I told you. So when that person made that comment, and you're like, oh, and placement is being taken away, you don't even have placements in schools. I'm like, okay, I don't get that part. So now you're making it more, it coming to light more that it's only natural. It's only natural. Go ahead. You are really
yeah,
throwing a lot of light.
yeah. Obviously, there's so much we can understand from comments anyway, right? And certain
True,
comments you may not understand or take
true.
out of context. Um, the difference is when you get to tertiary, like you said, at tertiary they won't accept you without a permit. You'd have to produce a permit for them to
Yeah,
accept you. But
yeah.
at high school, primary school, it doesn't work
For
like that.
public, it's you
Um,
can. For public, you have to emphasize for public. You can,
mm,
right?
you
Okay, that
can't,
makes
yeah, for
sense. You
public you
can
can't.
for public, not
Um,
private.
because it's because there's too many laws protecting children. So when you get to varsity, you're no longer a child, you're an adult. The state would sort of care less. But when you're a minor, when you're a child, there's so many constitutional rights that
I
you
guess the
get.
right to education for every child, right?
Yeah. That's why that's why schools, instead of trying to fight the constitution. So I think, yeah, and people always say it, that they have a problem with our constitution, and government, for some weird reason, legislatures don't want to amend the constitution. I've got my own theories why they don't want to do that, and they have nothing to do with migration or anything.
Okay.
But not to digress, yeah. So I think it's that, and I think because our media, to get traction, they have to start using catchphrases and like xenophobia, Afrophobia, which doesn't make any sense, right? Because like I'm
Mhm.
saying, you never hear any complaints about Ghanaians in the country as if they're not here, but there are a lot. Like there are a lot. You never hear complaints about other
Ghanaians.
nationals.
No,
Yeah.
I hear. No, you might not be an. I do hear, but I
Okay.
know that for Nigerians it's more prominent because I'll still make more videos on that. For my opinion, I hear. Even Congolese. Somebody was telling me some issues about Congolese and some communities. I hear. It depends. It depends on your cycle,
But they're not.
and people you hear things from.
But they're not a lot. Like as you say that maybe your next video you can discuss it on your own to talk about, like, is it really Afrophobia or is it just direct hatred towards a particular nation more? Because there's so many nationalities in this country, so many. Like I'm saying, there's so many, but then there seems to be there's a deep rooted. rivalry with Zimbabweans. There's a deep-rooted rivalry with Nigerians, and I think those are the issues that maybe we can ask why is it the case, so that we can really get into the specificity of the problems that each side is raising. Because I don't think it's Afrophobia. I don't think it's like it's that general term. I think that there are specific reasons, and obviously because Zimbabwe is close, and many
One
more
thing I
Zimbabweans
can
actually.
always also say, I want to interject a little when it comes to um from my own opinion. That's my own opinion. You can
Mm,
also, say what you think. I also think that most times from Nigerians, like you, if you know me very well, I don't condone. I have zero tolerance for anything negative and negative behavior. But I want to also say that most times, because of the fact that Nigerians are on the louder side, they are too loud. They are way too loud. Some things we are not propagated by them tends to be hung on them because of the fact that,
mm,
I want to also point that out because I mean I don't want to, I'm not trying to be biased, but I know that because they tend to be too loud and out there. As much as somebody, if you know my life here is very, I don't even know those kind of people that do those kind of things. However, I know that they tend to be always out there, and so people kind of rope some things that were not done by them as, it's Nigerians that did it. But I don't want to go into such things because it's a trigger for a lot of people. If you know, it's a trigger for a lot of South Africans, this kind of topic. And it's kind of, it's like when you're talking about some kind of things, you just want to scratch on painful things for people, and it's kind of too sensitive for a lot of people. But I just want to ask you, what is your take on that video that I made? Did you watch the last video? What do you think? What's your
the
opinion?
when you spoke, the one which is the topic for today. Sorry, I just want to switch on my laptop.
No, yeah, yes,
Um,
I'll still come back to the topic for today, but the last topic, which I said, Nigerians and African migrants should stop coming to South Africa. What is your take on that? What's your personal opinion?
Look, I don't think that one can stop migration, and I think in your earliest videos, you always have said that if you are going to go into another country, you just have to abide by the laws, and that's a basic principle.
Okay.
It should be there. I don't think that you, especially you yourself, should say Nigerians should not come to South Africa or anything because most Nigerians, because I can say most because Nigerians are a lot in the diaspora. They would say you are probably speaking from a position of privilege that you probably left Nigeria for the same reasons that they're leaving Nigeria, and that now you are a better position because you live in a very slightly affluent life that they are also seeking. So I don't think you should be telling them not to come. However, I think you were well within your rights in the first earlier videos to say, look, if you're coming to any other country, especially in any other country in Africa, and especially South Africa, because when you're coming here, you arrive and you realize that this is the African country that we envisioned about in the whole of Africa. This is what we wanted all Africa to be like. Please
Okay.
respect the place, keep it the way it is, so that we can harness whatever is here and take it back to where we come from and improve our African continent. I think that is much more better because
Okay.
essentially that's
Yeah, that is just you being modest. I can tell you for free because you are being modest on this live stream right now because you're just being way too nice. And anyway, I want to accommodate you and understand because you're in a public domain, so you don't want to say something that they'll say, "Oh, Isaac said." However, sometimes I'm a little bit of a blunt person. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but this is how I am. I say things as it is, okay? I say things as it is. I don't, I, the reasons I also say it is to educate people and to enlighten people. I know that a lot of people look for informations, different kind of informations on the internet. And I want a situation where if somebody is looking for a real undiluted information about a specific country or a specific location, say South Africa, because I'm privileged to have this information. Like I told you, I'm going to actually be almost 12 years in this country. So I have a lot of information as a migrant. I came to South Africa not having any child, and now I have 3 children. So I have a lot of information that is undiluted. So when I want to give it, as much as I will give that information, not trying to, downplay any country, not trying to downplay anybody, I want to give an information that if you come to this country tomorrow and you'll be like, okay, I see what Olivia is saying, I see this, I see this, I see this. Here, because I have a platform where I want, when people look in the future and in years to come, they'll be like, this lady said this, this, this. I don't want to sugarcoat. So I understand if you don't want to say it things the way they are. However, all the topics I said from a migrant point of view, which you may not understand because you're not a migrant, is true. And especially because I know, sorry, you will still say something. Because I know how what migrants have in mind, most people, before they leave their country. Before you set out to leave your country, Isaac, assuming you're leaving all your comfort zone and you have a good job, a good life in South Africa, and you want to go to another country, I bet you have a lot of things in mind. Okay? You don't want to come to something, a place that will kind of limit you, or you will begin to struggle, or you begin to, let it be that even if you struggle, or you already have, you know that, okay, I'm going to face this, I'm going to face this, I'm going to face this. That's actually the reason why I made some of those videos. When it comes to all the points, I don't even have them off heart, because I prepared those videos before I made them. They are true, especially when it comes to employment for migrants, because I know that most people come to have a better life, isn't it? Before you leave your country, you actually want a better life. So if you know, my husband is a medical doctor. Okay, so for people in the critical skills or scarce skills, those kind of advanced, maybe IT engineers, you're sorted. But how many people are in that line? There are very few. The average people like me that study psychology, I struggled when I came to South Africa. I wanted to be a clinical psychologist. I made a cum laude in Nigeria before I came. I wanted to study clinical psychology, but I didn't get clinical psychology. I struggled. I looked from one university to another. I applied in almost all the universities in South Africa. I didn't get a placement. I was opportune to go for interview, I think in UKZ, in their clinical psychology department, and I got to know that they were only training 5 students. A lot of South Africans came for that interview. I think we were 50. And they told us in clear terms that we are taking 5 students. I was even opportune to be called, to be invited for the interview. So I understand when South Africans don't have a place for a foreigner because of the limited resources. They told us we only train 5 students, 1 in clinical, 1 in counseling, 1 in education. They just quoted it like that. So I will be very, very I know that it's not possible for me to get a place in clinical psychology here in this country. Hence, I went for my master's in human resource management. I'm just trying to buttress my point. You understand? With what I told you about employment and all that, it's not easy out here for a foreign migrant. Reasons being that the country, like everything I said, is, somebody even said in the comment that a lot of countries gained independence in 1960, but we just, stopped apartheid in 1994, and you are overwhelming us. Those things are concerns of real legitimate South Africans, and those concerns are valid. You understand my point? So I'm not trying to paint or, sugarcoat things. No, those concerns, as much as it may not suit me, a foreigner may not like it, but they are real concerns and they are valid. So when foreigners, including myself, come to overwhelm the country, that's why everybody's shouting, foreigner, foreigner. They have reasons. So saying, there are no employment, my dear Isaac, there are no employment for foreigners unless you're a doctor. How many doctors, how many of us wants to be doctors? Unless you're what's it called? IT. engineer or accountant. Sometimes they even shuffle. So I don't even want to go in there. But yeah, that's the reason I made that video.
No, I agree with you. I think you're correct. Even with those departments like your doctor and whatever, there's still some shifting that is going to happen within a couple of years,
They're
maybe next
happening
year, after
already.
elections.
They're happening already.
Yeah,
Yes. Because my
there's going to
husband
be
is
that
in the
person
field.
that
I
makes,
know. Exactly. Those
yeah,
shifts are already happening.
because the critical skills list is going to get updated even after the elections. Because right now, you know very well that migration is a hot topic leading to the elections, and unions, want to have a say. They're going to say this, want to say that. I wasn't trying to be modest, actually. I have a Twitter account where I did speak about exactly what you're saying in full view. Yes, they can come, but as you say, the chances of them getting employment is difficult because of the situation that you've mentioned, which is correct. I've once said that it's not easy being a South African young person or even an older person who was born before 94 and had to experience apartheid because there was never a point in time as South Africans since 1994 we actually understood what is happening in the country, right?
Yeah.
Technology obviously overwhelms us every single day. Change of government, new political parties, new ideologies, they, we never really had we've changed our education system, I think, two or three times. So we've never really had an opportunity to sit down and understand how to run this country. And I understand when everyone is saying, while we're still trying to understand and maneuver, people are just coming in and coming in and coming in. You would understand the frustrations because we are still finding ourselves, right? If you ask somebody what is and who is a South African, what makes a person a South African, you're not going to get one answer because we have never really had that to say South Africans are this way, right? You can find regional ideologies and beliefs, because like people who live in Gauteng are the loudest ones. They're like Nigeria or
Mm.
South Africa. They're the loudest.
Yeah.
Everything that you hear about South Africa is usually something that happens in Gauteng, not everything that happens across the country. And so
Yeah. So
those will
to a
be the
reasonable
people.
extent, yeah. Mm.
Those are the people that will tell you everything about what is going on. But that does not necessarily represent South Africa. And even in Gauteng, there's too many different um, groups of people of thinking, and they are also themselves finding themselves. But there are some similarities that we have about South Africa. But we never, as I said, we're still trying to find what is South Africa. Our leaders are people who have been through apartheid and all this, they fought against whatever, but the young people feel that our leaders don't resonate with what we are currently experiencing. So the democracy is very young, but it's a bit changing, and we're going to see it in the coming elections where people will start splitting power between the provincial and the national government, depending where you live in your province, because the democracy itself is still growing. And once people are, maybe once it matures and we get our footing, maybe things might change. But now the problem is, we apart from starting to learn democracy, we're dealing with corruption. We're dealing with racism. That still
Mm.
comes up.
Yeah.
We're dealing with international relations and foreign affairs. We're dealing with
Mm-hmm.
foreign policy. We are asked as a country to decide, are we with the West, are we with Russia and whatever, when we are still trying to find ourselves. Who do we stand with ourselves? So when the country said, when our leaders came out and said they are non-aligned, a lot of us were happy because we don't want to be involved in foreign policy with respect to the wars that are countries because we're still dealing with our own problems. And we would work with anybody that will assist us in finding ourselves and helping us grow the economy and who we are. And that's why we will fight with anybody who wants to stabilize that. We will get united against anybody else who tries to stabilize us. But when you said I was modest, I was being honest to say that there are many foreign nationals who are in South Africa legally who have created good relations. Yourself is an example, right? I have I have friends who are foreign nationals. Um, I I can imagine this is happening in many places in this country because the people that then came to the country had good intentions to be part of this country, and when they were part of us, they helped us trying to discover what is happening. Because if you come here and you join us in trying to find not like some African Americans when they are in this country, they're coming in large numbers, and
Yeah.
within 2 3 months they're already trying to tell us how we should discuss politics in this country, how should we discuss economy, and it's like a chacharach mentality. I don't know if they've already taught you the word chacharach, what it means. Like they're being forward, like it's forward mentality where you just come to the country and find out what is happening, what are we doing, and assist, like go with us through the journey. You see, if when people watch your video, they watch you go through the journey that you're going. Whether your journey is in the private system life, it's equally like a lot of South Africans have access to both government and it's a hybrid type of life that we
Yeah.
live. Um, People have got medical aids. There are schools which have hybrid features where it's a private school, but the government does make some sort of a contribution towards the school, this and that. So there's a hybrid system life that South Africans are living. So
Yeah.
when we watch you go through your journey, we appreciate it because I can see myself in what you're doing. A South African mother can see themselves in what you're doing. It's fine. You're not trying to impose. You're not um, you're not trying to tell us how to do things. You're just going with us through the journey. And I'd wish that people do that. People not come to South Africa to tell us how to live because we are still trying to find ourselves. Go with us through the journey. If they just go and they will start seeing that no man, even these issues that they want to discuss of xenophobia. You've been in this country for a month, but you want to be the pillar of the conversation of what is xenophobia and what is xenophobia. Then you end up, people end up fighting with you because
True.
you've been in this country for 12 years, and I can see that, because when you watch your videos, you are going through their faces as we are going through their faces, and that's anything that could. When we see somebody that do that, we even forget where they come from. Because it doesn't matter. It won't matter
True.
because we're together in this boat. But if you come to this country, then you are imposing, you want to tell us what is happening, then obviously there'll be a lot of backlash. And this is where we unite as South Africans. We will unite against a person who's too forward. That one, and anyone else will do that in any other country, honestly
True.
speaking.
I
If you
agree.
watch,
Even in Nigeria, if you come to impose your thing or whatever your thought processes or your way of life to an average Nigerian, they'll fight you. They'll they'll resist you. It's a natural human instinct to kind of fight back. So I don't want us to digress a lot because I know we are already digressing, but it's fine. The issue of xenophobia, I already know the heart of South Africans, and I know how Nigerians think, and I know how humans think because I studied psychology. I know how humans protect their territory. So I'm not quick to, I don't even talk about because I know it's not a topic. Although people might not be rational in their thoughts or in the way they handle things sometimes, which may not be right, but the issue of xenophobia is not something I talk about because I know that South Africans are not xenophobic. The people that have tolerated a lot of migrants from all walks of life, a lot of African countries wouldn't have coped. I tell you, and not because you're here and not I don't South Africa, not because you're here. For you to accept from all walks of life, and it's like, I mean, it's a natural instinct for you to be like, please, please, sometimes. So
calm
I
down,
just want
calm
to talk
down.
about, sorry, I just want to read a few comments. We have few comments, and somebody says, I think that most South Africans can't differentiate between Ghanaians and Nigerians. So even if something was done by Ghanaians, they will say it's Nigerians. I know that one is true. That one is Daniel D. Okay, and I think he's a man. He also says, I think what you did helps the young West Africans who would be duped to travel to South Africa under false promises by traffickers. I agree. Because you know, when you don't understand a system in a country, you don't know how things work. Somebody can just come and paint or sell it to you as, oh, this is what is going on here. And when you come, you might be stuck. And you don't want to be in a desperate situation, because a desperate man can do anything. You understand? So that is actually one of the reasons I make these videos. When you come, even if you're coming and you've watched this video, you already know what you're coming to see. So don't say they took us unawares. Oh my God, they are taking I mean, okay, somebody says, thank you for your point, Mr. Isaac. We will unite as Africans. And okay, he also said, someone else also says, my sister, I love your videos, but on this one, the interjecting was way too much and we lost the gist of the issues discussed. It was an opportunity to understand the problems that the country faces. I'm sure you understand if you watch the replay because of how the conversation is going. Miss A said enjoying the conversation. Thank you so much, everyone. So, do you want to say something so that we can also? I want you to also react to some of the points I will mention in this video. Do you have something else to say?
Not really. Just to conclude, because I also have to. It's 2 o'clock now, so
Okay.
I have to go back to the work. Look, I think maybe, but they should give you a chance for you to explain more. You keep on talking about this so that you can. It's not necessarily a warning, but it's just to paint the reality picture as a migrant coming to South Africa, being told it's the promised land. To say it's not as promising as you think it is. There will be challenges that you will face. And like I said, right now, migration is it's a heated topic
Everywhere.
politically. Yeah, but
Everywhere.
now it's worse. Yes, yes, and now it's worse because we're going to elections. So you've got leaders who are promising um, communities things, And after the national elections, we've got the municipal elections, which it'll be even more of a heated conversation because they smaller parties want to get hold of municipal positions and this and this and that, and everybody will
Okay.
be trying to fragment. We'll be trying to fragment the bigger parties like your ANCGA, EFF, and the rest. So migration will be a heated topic. Migration placements, migrants benefits, and all this and this and that. It's going to continue to be heated. And I think that people have to listen to your point of view as you have been in this country for 12. Maybe when you start your videos, you need to remind people, I've been in this country for 12 years. So please listen to me. When you remind them, I've been in this country for 12 years. And so that the migrants listening to this can hear you, because I think your video will be directed to the migrants. I don't think your video is directed to South Africans. So South Africans who are listening to the video understand that the video is directed to migrants. Even if you cannot disagree with Olivia, but understand that your disagreement as a South African half the time will be without merit because you will be speaking as a position of being a South African, not as a migrant. So I think they should
Exactly.
allow you to start the conversation with, hey, hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. I've been here for 12 years. And then, you they get your perspective where you are. You really should come to Limpopo. Guys, take a holiday and come to Limpopo and
Yeah,
then
I
contact
must
me.
come to Limpopo. Maybe I'll come to Limpopo this Christmas. Who knows? I'm looking for where to take the girls to this Christmas. I'll see. Do you guys have any
That is a
resorts or?
that is a that is a good idea actually to come in Christmas because a lot of people that stay in Gauteng are from Limpopo. So in December
Oh,
time they come back home.
they come back
They
home,
come
right?
yeah, and it's buzzing the entire. They come back home. Everybody comes back home. They did that in the last long weekend in September. They were at home because there was a lot of weddings. There was going to be a lot of weddings, a lot of homecoming. Homecoming when I mean like
You
reunion,
guys should invite me to
barbecues.
a South African wedding. I've never been to a South African wedding before. Funny enough, no, I've never been to one, but I see those, you know, in my perfect wedding, I see those. I'm like, oh my God, when we when will I come to a South African wedding? All those traditional, maybe Zulus, Kosa, Twanas, all those vendors. I love those traditional weddings and South African
You
weddings.
said if you guys find a resort, try using booking.com, check a holiday there, and what location you want to be in. Then maybe you hit me up, and then I'll obviously there's gonna be a wedding. There's like always weddings all the time in
Ne,
December.
please. I will
People are
take you up
marrying each
on that.
other. Yes,
I'll take
please
you up
do.
on that. I need to attend the wedding. Yeah, so I just want to run by a few points before we call. I don't want this video to be too long. So some of the points I have based on what I said, because a lot of people we are saying, okay, people should not migrate at all. But because you already, I think you already agreed with that, that migration is a good thing. It's not like it's not possible for people not to migrate. But you said something, migrate legally, right? That's one concern. Somebody also said it. Is it John? John said we ask of legal and have a critical skill. So being legal is um one of the concerns of South Africans, and that makes sense because being a legal migrant will give you a little bit of edge. At least you will not be running away from the police, and you have a stay in. So for me, I wouldn't say nobody should just everybody stay in your country. I know that Africa is bad. Our like Nigeria is a story for another day. Africa is bad. A lot of people are of the opinion stay and fix Africa, stay and fix your country. But I don't see it as a feasible thing because I mean migration is a natural human instinct. You are in Limpopo today, you might want to go to US tomorrow and see, okay, I think I'm liking this country. But I know I've average South Africans do not migrate that much, but I know that a few South Africans migrate. So one of the points I have is
We
that
visit. Sorry, Olivia. We visit, and then we're like, going back home.
I'm home. This is not Mzamzi. Yeah, I know. A few migrate because remember during COVID, I know a few South Africans are in China, you know, working, teaching, studying. So a few, not all. I know some friends that live in Switzerland, they have friends that are South Africans. Not a lot, I must say. You can't even compare it with Nigeria, the rates which Nigerians migrate, but I know that the average South African will not migrate. Can you stop that and leave this place? Leave. Bye. So the average South Africans do not migrate, but I know that a few, just a handful, also migrate. So I have points like African leaders are not on board with fixing Africa. Like at least I'm talking about Nigeria. The reasons why people will not stop migrating is because the leaders are not on board. Like if you know what happened during our last presidential election, we wanted another president, and they gave us and like they imposed someone else on us. I mean, so African leaders are not on board. That's the second reason why I think migration will never end. You can't tell people to just stay put. The third reason is that migration is part of human existence, like I mentioned. And the fourth reason, most people migrate to acquire skills. A lot of people migrate, maybe you want to, like some doctors that I know, a lot of my friends are doctors, even the female ones. They came to South Africa and they're now residents. Some of them are specialists. I know some that are, their husbands are specialists. Even my husband, he has acquired, So skill acquisition is one of the reasons why people migrate. And some people, I know some IT people in UKZN, they came as they did their first degree in IT, and they came and they finished till PhD. They are now doctors of, information technology. So I feel migration is people migrate to acquire skills, right? Don't you agree? What do you think about that? And
No, no,
all
it's true. Yeah, it's true. It makes sense. I mean, look, let me, for a South African that wants to understand, people would leave Limpopo province. They would leave Limpopo to go and work in Gauteng to literally get everything you spoke about if a migrant was coming to South Africa, right? It's the same thing. Wherever there is a broader opportunity, there's room to grow, skills wise, person wise, and everything. These are normal things that happen when you move from your original place to a new place, which has potential to develop you as a person. It's generic, right? It's very organic. It's
Very, very.
normal.
So, and yeah, another reason is also that um people migrate to explore. Some people are just curious, and most people that migrated to China migrated because they are curious about Chinese people. A lot of people I know are I myself I'm curious about China. I want to go to China one day, and who knows if I'll migrate. I'm just saying, people migrate to explore different cultures, to explore different geographical region. Like in Nigeria is a tropical region in Africa. We don't have winter. We don't have winter. We just have normal summer. That's what we have. It rains once in a while, and that's it. So people migrate to explore different culture, different region, different vegetation, and what have you, weather. So I feel that it's impossible to say everybody, because Africa is bad, we must all stay put in our various countries. However, I'm always an advocate of migrating properly. Migrate to the right country. Look at the country you're migrating to, see if it's the right country for you. Remember, I never said people should not come to South Africa. No, that wasn't. But don't come to South Africa if you think, oh, this country doesn't really have much to offer me. If I want to be legal, if I want to do things the right way, I don't think it has, based on my skills, the skills I already have, or the educational qualification. However, if I have other kinds of skills, or other kinds of educational qualification, it could have, so I advise people to migrate based on the country you're looking at and what you have to offer the country, and what do you think the country also have to offer you, right? That will make your journey seamless, and you won't have any problems. See, I know South Africans don't have problems with people that are doctors on a normal day, or people that help their economy. Doctors are taxpayers, IT people that work are taxpayers. Every taxpayer helps the economy. Every country. But if you don't work, you're not a taxpayer. You're only taking from the country. So I feel Africa doesn't like South Africa doesn't really have the, I don't know. It's If you're a taxpayer, it makes sense for you to come, and like you said, being a registered migrant, you're traceable and you have permit and so on and so forth. So if you go to a country where it can accommodate you, and you can rough it out till you become legal and whatever, what have you. Other countries have that staying power more than that's mine. I know you're about to go, but anyway, guys, thank
Yes,
you so
yes,
much.
yes. Thank you so much. I
Thank you
will
so
catch
much,
you.
Isaac. I appreciate you. Thanks. Bye, guys. This is coming to an end. I don't know if does anyone who wants to join. Okay, let me finish the points I have. So, most times people are also selfish. Humans are selfish. People migrate because of selfish reasons. Like, I just want to go. I just want to go away from my country. I just want to go away. So that's why it's not possible for you to say everybody stay, fix your country, and yeah. Another point I have here is that other times migrants leave because they feel that the country they're in, like they are not having what they want. So they apply the fight or flight mode, which is a human instinct you know, that says, oh, if you think you're not having it, or if you think you're in danger or whatever, if you're a psychologist or if you're a sociologist here, I know you know that principle of fight or flight mode is a human tendency. That's the most reason why people kind of run away and migrate to other countries. So I feel we should just kind of accommodate, and normalize and agree that people will always migrate. But however, when you migrate to the right country, migrate with a legal standing, be in the country you are legally, and respect your host country. I am a fan of respecting your host country. I'm a fan of, you know, not doing what do unto others what you want others to do for you. What you know that you wouldn't like somebody to do in your country, a migrant to do in your country. If you come to people's country, do not do it. Thank you so much for watching. You guys does anyone have any other thing to say? Thank you, Isaac. We really appreciate you. God bless you for contributing. And yeah, I think it's basically the end of this video. Please subscribe if you're not yet subscribed to this channel. Thank you everyone that joins. Please give this video a thumbs up, share this video. I'm sure people will love to watch this video. And yeah, so African migrants, even if we can't fix our country, yeah, let's fix our country. Yeah, let's fix our country. But if we have to migrate, let's migrate to the right country and let's migrate in the right way. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. If you have any topic you want me to discuss that you think I can discuss, just write it on the comment section and say, Olivia, talk about this, talk about this, talk about this, and if it's something I can do, I'll definitely do it. Thank you, everyone, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Bye, guys.